Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time to my channel, hi, my name is Sarah. My channel is a cluster of a bunch of videos. Today's video in particular, as I usually state when I am in my kitchen, is going to be a little bit echoey. And it might be a little bit dark because the light keeps changing and I don't have a ring light, so I'm just doing this by natural light. With that being said, today's video is how to make a bath bomb, specifically a spring-inspired bath bomb. Let's get started, shall we? So first, we're going to be starting out with our dry ingredients. So in order to make these, we're going to need 1 cup of baking soda, half a cup of cream of tartar, half a cup of Epsom salts, half a cup of cornstarch. Those are going to be our dry ingredients. For our wet ingredients, you need 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, a tablespoon or 2 of water. If you are going to color these a colorant of your choosing, for one I'm using just food coloring because it's not going to be enough to actually like saturate or color your skin, so you don't really have to worry about it. Be a little bit more conscious of what kind of food coloring you're using in regards to the consistency. For example, maybe like don't use a gel food coloring because that's extremely hard to work with when you're working with anything that has the emulsifying effect. And if you do want this to have a scent, you do want to also mix it with some essential oils. So I've just got my bowl right here. I'm just going to be mixing all the ingredients into here. Alright, so I just got a little measuring cup here. I'm going to be taking first my 1 cup of baking soda. Bigger bowl. That's better. Now half a cup of our cream of tartar. Half cup of Epsom salts. And half a cup of cornstarch. Oh, and then it goes everywhere. Love that. Love that for us. Okay. Next, we're just going to fully mix that together. Pretty much use anything for this mixing method, but I'm choosing this spatula, I think is what it's considered. Alright, so got all of that mixed together now, and then you're going to come in with your wet ingredients, which is going to be the 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, melted or liquid, a couple tablespoons of water, which is going to be more than you want the coconut oil to be, obviously, because otherwise it's going to be an oil consistency rather than a liquid consistency, and then any food coloring or any essential oils that you want to add in as well, and yeah. I had to microwave that all in all for about a minute. So for this one in particular, I'm going to be using a coconut and citrus scent. These can be used for candles or they can be used for bath bombs, either way. But I'm going to be using this because it gives off like the citrusy scent, and that's exactly what a carrot is. Just be careful with this. Oh, that's good. Just a little bit more. Shh. And now the last of it is going to be the actual food coloring. I want my carrot to be orange, but I cannot for the life of me find any orange food coloring, so I'm just coming in with a yellow and a pink. Just be careful with whatever container you're using because that may or may not stain. Just adding a few drops in at a time, especially because this is a pink instead of a red. I would probably recommend using an actual yellow versus like a yellow neon green, but this is all I have, so we'll see how well that turns out. We're gonna see if it's gonna look like Christmas. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. And a little bit more again. I don't know if you can tell, but that's a pretty nice orange color. I'm gonna see how it looks when I actually spray it on, see if I need to add any more or, well, hopefully not less, because can't take anything back. You can definitely go in with this and just like add a little bit on teaspoon at a time, or you can come in with the spray bottle. I prefer the spray bottle because I find it disperses it more, which causes less of a reaction, because as soon as you start adding the liquid in, it doesn't know the difference between regular water, just like in something like this, or bath water, so it's going to react. Say that's a little too pink for my liking. I'm going to add a little bit more of the yellow green. Still too pink for my liking. Just keep working it in and working it in. See, that's more orange. There we go. This may take a while. So as you can see, it's starting to get that almost like sandy consistency. Sandy. Shout out to my mom if she watches this, which she doesn't because she does not know how to use the internet. But once you start getting to that sand-like consistency where you can kind of like mold it, it's just about the pigmentation from then on. Do be aware that you can add as much into this as you want. It's just going to make it more and more whatever color you've decided and smell more and more, obviously, like the scent that you've decided. But it's also going to take longer to dry because you're adding more liquid to it. You could just go as easily as to just put this into your fridge overnight and it will definitely dry out real well. Or you can just leave it in for a few hours, obviously, depending on how big your bath bomb is going to be. Just make sure that, unless you're doing a tie-dyed effect, that everything is pretty coated the way you want it to be. Like you can see over here, there's a slight reaction because I put too much there. The basic consistency that you're looking for is when you're able to crush it up and it holds the majority of its shape. So wet sand. Alright, so now that you've got this all down and it's the color or the consistency that you want, or hopefully both if you play your cards right. Next step is going to be to actually shape it. Now a lot of people actually tend to put it in just like a bath bomb shape, which is easy enough to do because you just get the little ornaments from like the dollar store, from Michael's, and you just push it together. This is a little bit more complicated because this is going to be in the shape of a carrot, which is not a ball by any means. With that being said, oops, trying to make it for dramatic effect and end up throwing everything everywhere. So with that being said, you will need this guy right here if you want to add even more of a carrot effect to it. These are Instyler. I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know exactly how to even pronounce that. But you can get these from the dollar store. And I was wanting to just take out a little bit of it, put the rest in the garbage. So we've got the napkin of our choice here. Going to be folding it like so. Like this. Then you can place this in any container that you'd like. I'm putting it in a cup because I find that's going to be probably the easiest for me. And then just fill it up. Anytime you may feel the need to press down, you can literally just do so with the paper towel. It'll help it get more compact. This is when I'm going to start adding these portions into it and building it up a little bit. If you want to add a little bit more even, you can just dig it up a little bit to make it look even more cute. Then again, push it back down. This is going to make it more dispersed. If you do want it together, you can definitely pull it in a little bit more together and then just place everything and squish it. And then you're going to leave this to dry. Again, put it in the fridge, put it in the freezer if you want. I don't have anywhere in my freezer, so I'm going to put it in the fridge for probably about a couple hours, and we will see after that. So for the second you're secondary portion, we're literally just going to do that all over again. The exact same steps and ingredients, but halved. All of it's going to be in halved. So you're going to want half a cup of baking soda, a 4th cup cream of tartar, a 4th cup of Epsom salts, a 4th cup of cornstarch, maybe like half a tablespoon of coconut oil, and half a tablespoon of water, etc., etc. Obviously fit it to your creation and what kind of size that you were doing. But also find it appropriate to mention that instead of using that essential oil or like that mixture of scent, I used a peppermint essential oil, and then only the pink food coloring. Alright, so this one I definitely don't want it to be like super pink. I almost want it to have that tie-dyed-esque effect. So I'm going to leave it not fully mixed together. That is because I am also coming in with... I'm going to be adding sprinkles to this. The good thing about sprinkles is they obviously deteriorate. They obviously do have a biodegradable aspect to them because, I mean, they don't come out the other end when you eat them. Now these sprinkles, you can kind of treat it like a Mio, like the pomegranate Mios, where you can put a little or you can put a lot. I choose a lot. They taste disgusting, but you're not really going to be tasting this at all, hopefully. It's not edible, guys. I mean, it has all edible ingredients, but it's not edible itself. So just be aware of that. A little bit more. Now to add it all into the egg. This is going to be a more simple kind of bath bomb, how it only has the sprinkles and whatnot in it, but I'm not going to be adding anything else like any rose petals or anything. You definitely can, just make sure to add them in first and then squish it down as much as possible. It's gonna help it stay together when it actually comes out of this, rather than just crumbling to pieces. I'm gonna be honest, because of all the sprinkles, it mostly just smells like sugar rather than peppermint, so maybe add a little bit more peppermint. It's a little late now, but you are going to want to overfill this so that it gets as squished as possible as it can. And I'll put this bad boy in the fridge like the other one. Obviously, always make sure to clean up your area, especially if you live with someone and they don't appreciate a messy area.
Wait a minute. Who made this big mess? Me? I did, didn't I? Well then, I have to clean it up. It's only fair. So, get ready for the 10-second tidy. Ready, set, go! Whew, I'm all tuckered out.
And now it's time to wait. Alright, time to check them out. So first things first, on the list. Seriously? Seriously, dogs? I'm going to be drying these out on napkins so it's a little bit less messy. Again, always be considerate of the people that live with you or that you live with. Woo! And here's the first beauty. It's my egg. It almost kind of looks like a Pokemon egg. I'm not gonna lie, but there's the first one. Let's see how it reacts. Now the secondary one. This one is the one that's going to be probably the most difficult to deal with. And yes, as editing has stated, I did switch over to tinfoil. I apologize about the dogs barking. They're not gonna stop. They never do. I try to get around it and I can't. Ooh, you can really smell the citrus in that one. Oh my god. I will say, this actually kept together pretty damn well, considering it's such a big bath bomb. For the sake of its actual shape, I am going to keep it in the tinfoil. I'm also gonna use it. I'm also gonna use it. I'm also gonna use it. I actually didn't think they turned out that well. I'm really glad they turned out that well. Okay, all excitement aside, let's go try them out. You coming? Hi. Oh my god. Why do you always come in here when I'm filming?